Do you remember the good old days? Seems like a long time ago, but it was only a few months ago. It was the good old days when we did outrageous things like we'd go to parties and mingle and mix with strangers, people we've never met before, or we'd go to the pub, or we'd go to festivals or conferences or social gatherings, and we even did things like networking, business networking. Do you remember that? And if you do, you'll probably recall, as I do, that if you entered into a conversation with somebody you'd never met before, it's likely that one of the first questions they'd probably ask you would be this: so, what do you do, Maurice? And you'd end up explaining. It was interesting for me though, because one of the things I never saw was people then go on to ask, so why do you do that? Most people just wanted to break the ice by asking, what do you do? And we would tell them. For me, the big question is, why do you do what you do? But even that starting point, what do you do, was a challenge for me for the most part. Because imagine this, somebody would ask me what I do, and I'd say I'm the founder, I'm the creator of a business called Mindful Presenter. And before going on to explain anything else, I could almost see and feel this image flash up on the screen of their mind, where they were imagining me sitting on a yoga mat, cross-legged, teaching or coaching a client to breathe or meditate or chant or something like that. And that isn't what we do. We coach professionals to find and value their voice, to present with greater confidence, clarity, presence and impact in a way that's real and authentic. You see, anybody can present. People are doing that in businesses all day long, across the planet. Anybody can present with varying levels of confidence and clarity. But it's a bigger challenge for most people to connect, to truly connect their message, their idea, their insights, the data, to connect that emotionally as well as intellectually with their audience. One of the ways we help to do that is this. We ask our coachees and delegates, participants in a workshop, to imagine their audience, when they're presenting, we ask them to imagine them wearing this badge. It's just a sticky badge. Hopefully you can see that. It's got the initials PMMFS. So we say, we will ask you to imagine your audience wearing that badge. And as well as the badge, the first thing you can see is what we call their shining eyes. By that I mean somebody's son, daughter, brother, sister, perhaps a mother or father, but a real person, not just a colleague or a client, but a real human being. Can you imagine that? And as you're seeing and feeling those shining eyes, as well as that, you can see this badge on their shirt or jumper or blouse or jacket, and it's just screaming at you. It's screaming those letters which stand for, please make me feel something. Please make me feel something. That's why we do what we do. That's what Mindful Presenter is all about. Because I haven't met anybody yet that genuinely likes being presented to. But most people like being connected with. That's what we do. Mindful Presenting is about helping professionals to find value and express their voice in a way that connects with people emotionally as well as intellectually. To do that, we have to ask a very important question. What do we want them to feel? I ask a lot of professionals that question, and you know what they say? Most people respond by saying, I just want them to feel informed and engaged. That's not enough. That's a prerequisite. When you're presenting or speaking to anybody, you owe it to them to help them to feel informed and engaged, don't you? It has to be more than that. But to achieve that, we have to have a starting point, our intention about what do we want them to feel, truly feel. Because if we don't have that clarity in our minds, we won't feel it ourselves. And if we don't feel it, guess what? They'll never feel it. The greater challenge thereafter is to have some level of understanding of actually what do they want to feel? Do you have any idea what do they want to feel? Do you even know what they feel now about the message, the data, the information? What do they actually feel? If you don't know, we have to ask them. And then put yourself into their shoes and ask yourself, how would they want to feel? So this combined challenge of how do you want them to feel and how do they want them to feel, that's when we begin to craft a very powerful, impactful presentation where we connect ourselves and our message directly to our audience. Please make me feel something. If you'd like to know more, then check out our website, mindfulpresenter.com.